how are you? I'm Michelle DesPres, clairvoyant medium, teaching you the importance of using intuition to improve your health, deepen your relationships, increase your wealth, and find your meaningful purpose. And today I want to share with you what I am seeing, my impressions for what the equinox cycle is bringing in. So I really see it as equinox madness, where we're trying to find our equilibrium in a world that is really falling apart. Things just aren't the same today, and we're all really forced to have to be something different. And so I think rather than going into fear at this time, really the best thing to do is to see it as opportunity. Because really what this cycle of time is going to allow you is a new bid for power. As things are going away, the power's up for grabs. You can be anything you want. And that's what I want to share with you, is how to make your bid for power this cycle. And so the equinox always represents a time of harvest. And intuitively, we do the same thing. We're going to harvest what has worked in our lives, and then we're going to determine what we want to reseed and plant again based on what we've noticed we've been able to harvest. And the trick right here during the equinox is to do that reassessment. What has worked and why? And what do you want to carry forward? And this is where you get a chance to make your bid for power. Because you can really, if something isn't coming to harvest that you want, or if you don't like what did come to harvest, you have an opportunity to seed something new. So in this time, when we have an opportunity for something new, I want you to think about these 4 things and how to make your bid for power today so you can have more of what you want. How to make your bid for power. Number 1, know what you truly want and why. And that's important. What's really important is the why. Why do you want what you want? If you want because you have a sense of desperation or lack because you didn't get enough love from your mother, then you're only going to recreate more lack and more desperation. And so understanding why and what drives you is where you can really flip things. Now, if you want because you love something, I love my career and I can't not do it, it's the only thing I can do, then that's a want that's true. And that's a want that's going to propel you into more of what you want. So check in with why you want what you want, what's motivating your desires. Once you know that, shift them into something that works better for you, and that's how you take your power back so you can have more of what you want. Step number 2, and this is important too, speak your truth and don't deny yourself the right to have it. Now, most women really understand what it's like to not be heard. I mean, especially in a world where we're still making 60 cents on a dollar compared to a man. Our value, our voice, our perspective isn't truly being heard and received. And today, that's a great bid for power. Because the ways that were are no longer, and it's time to change things. And women have to start having that voice. And here's the trick. When you have your truth and you need to speak it, it's really about speaking from compassion. You know that what you want is because it's what's best for everyone. So if you're speaking from that point of love and compassion about how it is the greatest good for all, that's where you can't not be heard, as if you're speaking with that form of compassion. And I know that's not always easy because we get angry and we want to go into, well, this is why and this is why. But if we can take away the anger, then we're really assuming a new type of communicative power where we can't be denied what we know is right. So start speaking your truth and use that form of compassion, collaboration, cooperation, all of those really wonderful elements that are inclusive and not exclusive, and get people really on the same page. That's your second bid for power. Thirdly, and this is also very important, of course all of them are, consciously change your reaction to your daily situations. That was sort of a revelation for me, quite honestly. You know how it is. When you're going about your life and, things don't go right, you immediately go into the, I didn't get this as a child, and this didn't happen for me in my life, and if only somebody would have been like this with me. You know, that type of reaction only creates more. And so what you really have to do is change your story right there. You have to say, the reaction I want is, okay, so I didn't get what I needed growing up. But it taught me how to get for myself. It taught me how to be strong. It taught me to survive. There was beauty in it. And now I can take that and I can say, how am I going to do that today? I'm going to make this a better story. And so consciously shifting your story and your perspective about what is really happening around you is a true key in rewriting energy so that it starts to flow in the directions that you want it to flow in. So you really have to check your reactions. It's one of the masteries I'll be working on, I can guarantee you. And then lastly, you really want to think about what you're building as a legacy. You know, as you make your bid for power so that you can have greater wealth, more time, greater love, bigger impact, as you're making your bid for power for whatever it is that you want in your life, more of, think about the legacy you're leaving. You know, as you have what you want, what does it give the generations? If we're thinking beyond, if we're thinking, you know, here's what it gives the next generations, this is what it contributes to in the world. If we're thinking about those things, then our bid for power is very balanced and it really drives the greater whole. So as long as you're coming back to those 4 points where you are knowing what you want and why, speaking your truth with compassion, consciously changing your reactions, and building a legacy that means something greater in the world, that's the kind of power that's supported today, and that's the opportunity you have. All right, so intuitively find that information, understand what it is that you want to put forward, understand the types of thinking and emotions that aren't serving you, move them into something different, and let's get on with some greater change, because we know that the elections are not going to do that for us. We have to change ourselves if we want real change in the world. And intuition and understanding how to live consciously with your new understandings is how you do that. All right, take care. Have a wonderful equinox.